I wanted to show you just do a walk around of this thing, just kind of, show you the components, show you how it's put together. So there's a bucket, and then here's your thumb. The thumb, you just pull off this bolt here, slide this pin out, and then you can swing the thumb and then put the pin back in and then bolt it into place. And that's how you adjust it. Obviously hydraulic would be better. You have your hydraulic connection right there, so it's pre-plumbed for it. You just need to get a hydraulic thumb and weld it on. Bucket does not have a quick coupler, so I'm sure that you could find probably one off a different style machine and make it work for this. But, overall, hydraulic lines all run pretty nicely. They look pretty similar to any, name brand machine. It has LED lights that are actually semi-bright. They're not, dim like a lot of the other ones. You actually have a nice guard for your cylinder here, so it rides. There's a track right there, so you can see right here there's a piece of metal, or I don't know if it's metal or plastic, but basically it allows this to ride up and down as a track. And then it's a swing boom, so get around to the other side here. See, there's your cylinder. And one thing I didn't notice until I actually had this thing loaded up on my trailer is if you stand directly in front of it, you can see that this boom is mounted just a little bit, just a couple inches off to the, I guess it'd be, if you're sitting in the operator's seat, it's to the right, but for the purpose of this video, it's off to the left here. So you can see that it's just a little bit that way. And, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. It means you're going to be able to get into tighter areas on when you're digging over on this direction. But if you're digging on this side, it's not going to be as tight. So just something to keep in mind. And here's the cab. So things I've done to it. First off, put a step here, and then I've moved my control levers forward. So what I did is I just bored out the hole here to allow this lever to move, and I just put it all the way in the forward position and retightened it. Comfort of the cab. This cab is small, but once you're in it, it's comfortable. Getting in and out of it, not the most comfortable. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. So just, I'm a decent sized guy, and trying to crawl in and out of this, I have to kind of contort myself a little bit. So it is that's something I'm gonna ding it on, is just the cab size could be better, could be bigger. You got your window over there. You have your AC condenser right here, so this is what allows you to have air conditioning. They don't put it right in front of the the radiator, so they have it separate. I like that and I don't. So the reason I like that is because this thing has a single radiator that is a 2-part system. So this part over here is for your cooling your motor, and the far side on the other side is for cooling the hydraulic fluid. I like that it only has to focus on cooling those two fluids, and you're not having to stack another heat-emitting radiator in front of it. This thing's not going to put out a ton of heat, but it is going to put out some, and the more that you're putting into this small compartment here, the more heat that is, and that's just harder on a component. So I like the fact that it's out here, but all it's going to take is one stick from a limb or a tree, or if you're working in brush, something hitting this and damaging it. It does have this metal shroud all the way around it, but it's not going to take much for a stick to poke right through there. I guess since we're at the motor here, we'll kind of go over what it is. So this is a Yanmar motor. Okay, see if we can zoom in there for you. And there's your model number, so if you want to pause the video, never get this thing to focus. If you want to pause your video, you can pause it, and that's what you are working with in this for a power plant. Obviously, this fuel filter, fuel water separator. This is your coolant tank. This is your fuel pump, and right here is your hydraulic pump. So we're going to close this door. To close it, you just press this button here, and that allows that to come off of this little guy right there. On this side here, this is your hydraulic components, your hydraulic pump. So I'll try to get you in here. But there's your pump. I think it's just an off-the-shelf one from a Chinese one. I don't know the. It's a. I knew it at one point because I looked it up, but they're just a Chinese pump from what I can tell. Yeah, it looks to be just an off-the-shelf one from a major hydraulic pump supplier. So that's the thing, is this thing's essentially like a Lego kit, just a whole bunch of components put together. So I'll grab the keys here, open up this. This is your fluids door. Of course, they give you 4 keys for 4 different locks. And it's always the last key you try that works. Come on. So this is your fill cap for your fuel, and then this is your hydraulic oil tank right here. Yeah, pretty straightforward. So there's the side of it. When I bash on this thing about fit and finish, this is what I mean right there. There's a nice little hole right there that goes right into the cab. You can see there's actually this piece of metal here does not go all the way down, so it's not, the cab's not truly closed off from all the dust and debris. If you're working in a really dusty environment, it's gonna get in there. I mean, just the nature of it. It's gonna keep some of the rain off of you. You know, it'll keep you warm in the wintertime and cool in the summer, but you know, it's not. It leaves a little bit to be desired in that department. So that's why, you know, harp on these things. You have good grease zerk fittings, all that are easily accessed all around it, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It looks all robotically welded, which, you know, in my head that makes me feel a little bit better. Just, you know, knowing there's a little bit more consistency to it. It's a little bit more uniform. But the blade, it sticks out quite a bit, which I like. Gives you a little bit more leverage. Looks like you're just standard, you know, blade design on these size machines. Here's a counterweight, and this is all cast steel. I mean, it's truly that thick. So they give you a decent sized counterweight for these things, so that does help with the stability. And so what else can I show you? Back to the cab here. This is the stuff that makes me laugh about these machines, and just the stuff that gets imported here. So for some reason they put what looks to be like the radiological symbol on the fan. I don't get it. It's comical to me. You do have a small fire extinguisher right there. You know, good luck with that. And you do have the hammer to get yourself out to break a window. As you can see, speaking of the windows, so you have this one right there that opens, and you can open up the front glass here, and the door swings open. So you have, you know, essentially an open cab. And when you hop in here, the thing that's a pain in the butt is your face has to bend around this strut here. So to lower this thing, you just pull these little levers here, which pulls out the hooks, and it just drops down. This gives you a little bit more room to get out. That mirror did not come with it. I installed that. That's one for like the open top Jeeps, I think the CJs. And here's the last thing that I'll complain about. That's your radio. So you gotta just start smashing buttons until you can figure out what it does. It is not a stereo, you just have the one speaker there, but it does hook up to Bluetooth, so once you figure out how to pair it, it welcomes you in Chinese, and you can have your music playing off your phone through that radio right there. This is the AC box, just low, medium, high. Temperature, I don't know if that actually does anything. I think it's either fully on or fully off. I did take off the pedal here just because I want some room for my foot to float around, since the auxiliary hydraulics are not hooked up time right now. I don't need them, so I don't need that foot pedal there to get in my way. And here is what your controls look like. So you go turn this thing on. Gotta find the right key. So it turns on, you can hear the fuel pump starting. If you turn the key backwards, it preheats it. Wheel plugs, and then this is your throttle right here. So turning all the way this way, or toward this direction, turns it down to lower RPM towards the turtle. And starts up. Those are your hours, and then your RPM. Controls, this is your blade, so you push this down, lifts up. The switch right here is for your boom headlight, and this switch right here is for the lights on the cab. Now I cannot for the life of me figure out why they just don't have all three lights wired together to where when you hit this one switch it turns on the cab lights and the boom lights, but that is just the way they decided to make this thing. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to why. The cab, it's a little noisy when you have everything closed up and you're running it with the doors closed. That goes a little bit, but it keeps you out of the elements and it keeps you cool if you're in the summertime, you know, which that's when most people are running these things. Like I said, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Let's see about that.